Hey everyone, and welcome back. So we're continuing to take a look at your brain on feminism. In this video we have a special snowflake, and I'm talking ultra fucking special snowflake here. And what is our highest wish in life? Well, it's basically for us straight dudes to just die. It's not the newest video on the internet, but it really disturbs me, so it has to be here, alright? So let's just take a look at it. Enjoy!
So it's come to my attention that there's been some controversy surrounding some 3 little words, and I don't understand why.
Oh, you mean I love you?
It's just a bunch of people having hissy fits that their status quos are being challenged.
Did we learn a new word today, did we?
Die Cis Scum.
Wow, you look happy with yourself saying that.
So, for those of you who've been living under a privileged rock your entire life...
Excuse me, point of order. What in the hell is a privileged rock? Is that like a rock on a higher mountain, or is that like a rock and roll rock? Or maybe it's a moon rock.
And don't know what cis means.
Well, I don't want to be presumptuous because I know you're going to explain it to me, so have at it.
It's short for cisgender.
Okay, that didn't explain shit, you dumb motherfucker. It's like saying I'm a potato. Well, what's a potato? Well, it's a potato skin. You can't just add another word and expect that to explain everything.
Which means that a long time ago, a doctor took 5 seconds to look at your baby genitals and say, you are going to be this person.
No, I'm pretty sure he took a look at my genitals and said, put down male in his passport. Nothing more, nothing less.
And by some astronomical coincidence, you grew up and said, meh.
Astronomical coincidence? What the fuck are you even talking about? If most people didn't grow up to identify with their own gender, this species would have died out eons ago.
And you know what? That's fine and dandy for some people, but...
Some people. Really?
For the rest of us?
The rest of us. Do you realize how dumb that sounds?
We're not entirely happy with what's on our birth certificates.
Yeah, and I'm not entirely happy that I wasn't born a millionaire either.
We're transgender.
Okay, so I did a little research, and transgender means transitional gender. So which gender are you transitioning from, and which gender are you transitioning to? Because to me, you just look like a chick with bad lipstick. Sorry, but seriously though, you can't be in transition forever, because if you are, it's not a transition, asshole.
And we're a bitty part of this little acronym, LGBT, and trust me, I'll get to that another day.
Yeah, I'll be sure to keep an eye out for that. Not.
But unfortunately, cis people are the majority in this world.
And since I have a dick, and I like the fact that I have a dick, I suppose I am a cis person then, huh?
And they think they get to decide our identities and our lives for us.
Talk about narcissism. I don't give a shit about your life or your fucking identity. Do whatever the fuck you want with it.
This is a problem that has existed for hundreds upon hundreds of years.
No. It's existed about as long as Tumblr has existed, alright?
Cis people taking advantage of us and assuming we'll stay quiet and not complain once.
How could we have taken advantage of you when we didn't even know you existed, for fuck's sakes?
Well, a lot of people have problem with this, and in particular, trans feminine people.
Okay, so more Tumblr words, I guess. So what in the hell is trans feminine? All I can come up with is transhumanism, but you're not really going for Borg implants, are you? It's more like silicone implants with you guys, to be honest, right?
Who have been most hurt by cis supremacy.
Haha, new Tumblr word alert. Cis supremacy.
There is a lot of pent-up anger and understandably so.
Yeah. Did you get a refund for the lipstick?
Transgender people are pissed the fuck off that we constantly have to be beaten down by the sissies.
Oh, funny. I see what you did there. Sissy, like pussy.
So one brilliant human being one day decided to coin the term Die Cis Scum, and since then a lot of apparent outrage has emerged.
Apparent outrage? What is that, like alleged outrage? I'm sure people were pissed, alright? Just admit it.
And you know what? I totally understand the opposing arguments.
No, I'm sorry, honey. You're not intelligent enough to understand the opposing arguments. And in a minute, you'll show us all why.
But I think they're ridiculous, and here's a list why.
I told you.
Number 1, this is not a literal sentiment.
Yeah, you can do that weird thing with your shoulders all you want, but that doesn't change the fact that if you said kill all niggers, you would be dead by now. Now, I get that you don't believe that you can be racist toward a straight white dude, but here's the thing. Either there's racism or there's not. There's really no middle ground here.
No one is advocating violence against the sissies.
Then why don't you stop advocating violence against the sissies, you moron?
Now, I want you to remember exactly how many times and how often you've heard something like this. Wow, this movie is terrible. Whoever made this needs to be shot.
Hey, moron! Fucking moron! Only jihadists call for movie makers to be shot, you fucking retard. That has never ever happened to me or anyone I've ever known. Never.
Also, I'm pretty sure that these people who are offended by this Die Cis Scum are the same people that are still hiding in their houses ever since they heard that it's raining men.
Okay, is that some sort of Tumblr euphemism or something? I have no idea. I only know about the song from the 80s. Does that have anything to do with this?
Number 2. This is a perfectly reasonable response.
There's a limited way you can respond to that, but I'm gonna go with fuck you. There is no excuse for threatening death and violence, no matter what, asshole.
To years upon years of transphobia and bigotry.
Here's the thing, I support gay rights, I support trans rights, I support everyone's right. But when you start calling for my death, then just about the only right I support is your right to go to prison.
Anyone who is a part of any minority group is entitled to anger.
Oh my god, did you just say that, you fucking idiot? There are only 3 things that you're entitled to: death, taxes, and human rights. That's it.
And if you think that a person is not entitled to being angry at the prejudices against them...
Oh my god, if you think you're entitled to anger, then you're a fucking sociopath, alright? People like you are what's fucking this world up. Entitlement to anger.
Then you're probably a privileged douchebag.
And here's another thing that's fucking the world up. You don't understand what privilege is. It is a privilege to have a driver's license. It's a privilege to be a moderator at a site. A privilege is something that can be revoked at any time if you misuse it. A privilege is something you cherish, something you want. I have no idea what you mean by privilege. It seems like it's something you want to get rid of.
Number 3. Transgender people are part of a minority group that have to constantly endure the oppression by cis people, and doubly so if they're trans feminine or a person of color.
Okay, so you're just declaring all cis people as bigots, you fucking moron. Somewhere in the rainforest there is a tree tirelessly producing oxygen for you to breathe. I think you owe that tree an apology.
So a supposed attack on the group in power doesn't really mean anything because they already have the unfair advantage and they are guaranteed not to get hate violence because of their gender identity.
Oh, and here's where the argument just goes completely off the rails, because apparently I could just call Bill Gates up and say, hey, what about that patriarchy thing, huh? Do you have $1 million to spare? Because I'm a little short this month, and we're both part of the ruling elite, right? Here's what you feminists don't understand. If there is one man ruling, there's about 300 million men slaving under him. You don't get free shit because you're a man. You never, ever get free shit because you're a man.
And number 4, you really shouldn't be offended by this unless you're both cis and scum, in which case, I can't really help you and I don't really care to.
Yeah, your circular arguments aren't all that convincing, you fucking bitch. Because here's the thing, you don't want to help me, I don't want to help you.
Unless you are the same guy that's been making all these terrible movies and maybe you really do deserve to die.
Yeah, am I gonna have to read about this in the paper in a couple of years? Like, Michael Bay killed by crazy feminists or something? Regardless of whether you kill him or not, you're just insane and a retard. Goodbye. Okay, so now you've seen a stupid motherfucker who thinks that death threats are okay for some people. They're not. Don't do it. As always, thanks for watching and see you next time.